Welcome back, everybody, to the XBA. We have XBA Primetime action for you guys tonight at the Galaxy Fieldhouse in Seattle. A primetime matchup between the Kansas City Stampede and the Seattle Martians. I am joined with two co-hosts, one being our draft class creator, Brian Street, and our sideline reporter from a remote location, Portugal. So you guys, welcome to the primetime matchup. What are your early thoughts in this matchup? Who do you guys like for your picks?
My pick this matchup is going to be Kansas City. They're just a bigger lineup, honestly. Jeremy Lamb's so undersized, and so is Josh Hart. But the fact that John Morant and Luka Doncic are on this team, there's no doubt in my mind that Kansas City is winning this.
Portugal, who do you have?
Well, I have to agree with Brian Street here. I think Kansas City, especially after last year with that Game 7 victory, it's infamous to Seattle fans. But, I think the mentality, this road streak, this is built in KC's blood, and I think they'll easily get the victory here at Seattle. But we'll see.
And that's something that we had to mention, is that Kansas City, it's being well known and being well talked about. They're riding a 10-game winning streak. This could possibly be the 11th win, and coming off of a week-long trip where they're not doing anything. They haven't played basketball. They've just been practicing, and that's really all that they've been doing. They've been sitting at home. No corona issues there, no not playing because of extraneous circumstances. They have just been off this entire time. But let's actually get into this gameplay here, guys. It is 6-2 currently, and you would think that Kansas City might be at a little bit of a disadvantage being off for so long.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, like you said, they've had a week of no basketball. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes them to catch fire. Who knows? It could be the first quarter, it could be the fourth quarter. I'm just prepared to see how this team matches up against Seattle, especially the fact that they have Porzingis and Drummond and are severely mismatched down low. And that's actually one of my key points of victory for Seattle, is they just have to crash the offensive and defensive glass.
Yes, use that big size to their advantage. We see a nice shot here for Kansas City, getting them up 8-4. Drummond here with the basketball at the top near the midcourt logo here. He's trying to set this offense up, and Reggie Jackson is got the pass here. He's going to shoot for a three. It's going to go no good. Luka Doncic here with the nice pass here to Josh Hart. Back out here to Whiteside. Doncic on Eric Gordon, and then facing off against Drummond, and he goes off the backboard. That's really tough to handle. 21.2 points per game with 9 rebounds and 9.2 assists per game on the road. So, of course, Luka being an X factor in tonight's game. There's another rebound here for Luka, and he gets a nice pass to John Morant. Morant out here to Hart, and he gets the green to go. So already Kansas City, they're actually attacking Seattle down low, and it seems to be working for them. I don't know how that's going to pan out for them in the long term. What do you think here, Brian?
Well, I mean, for sure, Seattle's got to step up the pace a little bit. Kansas City's going at them, and it's something that none of us really expected for them to be this aggressive this early. You mentioned earlier Luka Doncic. He had 21 points per game. His home and away stats are pretty similar. Honestly, at this point of the season, I'm just going to call it right now. Luka's going to be the MVP of the season.
We have a early season prediction here. Here is a nice shot in the corner, going to be no good. So Seattle still trying to get some momentum here, as Kansas City going to find Luka down low, is going to get the two off the backboard there, a layup, and then look at that. I love that. Oh man, I like that. I like that a little bit. Luka with the taunt a little bit here, Portugal. A little bit of a bad blood going on between Kansas City and Seattle.
Well, yeah, pre-game in the press conference these guys talk smack to each other, and he said, quote, "I can't wait till we beat these kids back to the mission." Back to you, Goldie.
7 of 8 right now for the Stampede, 88%. This is crazy. This is crazy right now, guys. 3 of 8 for Seattle. They just cannot get any sort of momentum going here as we see Luka down low. And then, oh, that's going to get the momentum started at home. The fans, they can appreciate that. They're getting up on their feet. Andre Drummond with the huge block. He basically said to Luka, get that out of here. That's basically what he said. I'm putting words in his mouth. I think that's what he said.
One could say that block was out of this world.
Oh, I see what you... Oh, little puns here in tonight's broadcast. Of course, Seattle being out of this world with the Martian mascot.
Yes.
This is what we do. 16-8, my fellow viewers. 16-8. They're doubling up Seattle right now, guys. What is Seattle going to do here for the response? They're going to attack Gafford, and that's Porzingis. This is something that you talked about, Brian, to try to challenge them low. And for actually one of the first times that we have seen Seattle go down low to challenge their less than big size.
Oh, yeah, I expect a big game out of Porzingis this game. I mean, his matchup is going to be Michael Green, completely undersized compared to Porzingis, and even, Seattle's big man Boban. You have Boban coming off the bench. You have Andre Drummond starting. I just expect a big game from their entire, centers and forwards.
Let's see if they can keep that momentum going here. We got Porzingis down low one more time, and he's going to get this shot off and good. 16-13. So Kristaps is pulling Seattle back in this. Remember, it was an 8-point lead at one point. It's now down to 3. Here's Holiday with the nice shot. Good move. He's going to get 2 more. Let's see what Seattle's got up their sleeve here for this next series, this next possession. We got Darren Collison coming out here. The old man, Darren Collison, coming out of retirement for year number 2 of the XBA. He was coaxed into coming back with the Martians, and there was an opening with Reggie Jackson, and he needs to be the backup. And he's continuing to play. Darren Collison, of course, with the former Sacramento Kings is when I remember Darren Collison. But he was always been a solid player, a good player, and that's what Seattle is hoping they're going to get here for year number 2. Luka for 2. Rise and fire. Nothing doing here. Porzingis with the rebound. Darren Collison coming out here. He's got a couple guys open down low, but he's not going to go back to them. Here's Lance Stevenson for 2, and then Boban going to get the 2 off the rebound. Again, Brian, the big man is dominating.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is basically going to be their game plan if they want to win this. They're just going to have to capitalize on that, and there's no other way around it. They'll have to do that and transition defense because this Kansas City team can steal, as we just saw.
Yes, there's a big steal right off the get-go, and 2 more points going to go the other way for Kansas City here. So Boban with the screen here, and the green from Hazonia. All you need is just a little bit of space here for these professional shooters, guys. 20-17 is now your score. Up by 3 still is Kansas City. Here's a pass to Thornwell trying to work on Hazonia. Back down to Gafford. You do like that matchup down low, but that's going to go awry. That's going to be a miss. Here comes out Stevenson with 35 seconds. And Hazonia for 3 going to be missed. And Gafford with the rebound. And here comes Thornwell with the stampede. They're trying to get that fast break going because, like you said before in the pregame, I guess that is a way that you can neutralize some of the bigger guys on the floor. Is get that fast break going. They can't run as fast as you can, so if you speed them up, you might be able to get down the floor quicker and outrun them to get to the basket for easy transition points. 6 seconds to go here. Here's Hazonia with another screen, this time from Collison, the smaller man Collison. Porzingis gonna miss as the buzzer goes. It's still 20-17. This became a game after the first quarter. Let's go back down to the sidelines here as Portugal has an update from Porzingis. Kristaps Porzingis gave a little bit of a speech during the intermission.
Kristaps talked to me for a bit and he said, he just said we weren't happy with this. We weren't happy with this performance so far. They're expecting to get the lead this quarter, expecting to pull away. in the second quarter. And he trusts his coach completely. Back to you, Goldie.
All right, so that is good news for Seattle fans as Doncic is going to be working on James Tashi. James Tashi checks in, the Memphis product. You guys can see him there at the edge. Zonia is going to pick up the foul here as we are now going to be seeing an inbound from the old-timer Vince Carter. He's still playing. He's still out here, guys. Vince Carter, Brian, what's going on with Vince Carter?
That's insane, honestly. Like this somebody at this age still performing this well. I mean, I remember playing as him, in NBA Live 2005. He's played tremendous basketball all of his career, and it'll be interesting to see if he continues to play at the level that we know that he can.
Interesting to see Vince Carter taking a contested three-ball shot. Must have been a shot clock issue coming that way. Gafford with the foul makes the two, and now they're pumped up with Kansas City on the sidelines there on the bench. Look at this pass down low, and then Gafford. Nice to see Gafford coming through, offering this team some depth as 6th, 7th man-esque performance, production. 22-17 now is your score. We will wait until the XBA official hands him the basketball. Let's get this thing underway here, guys. This always takes forever. As the commissioner, we'll have to talk to the commissioner, but the commissioner needs to get these referees to speed up the process, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, basketball is always meant to be a fast-paced game. It's never meant to take, so long or anything like that. It shouldn't take more, that long to at least get a free throw off.
James Tashi down low. He's not going to make it, but that was a good attempt by the Memphis product. One of my favorite prospects. And here he is coming out here one more time. He actually gets stopped, and then with a nice pass, Hart's going to pick up the foul here. And as we take a look as the Kansas City Stampede's upcoming schedule, they've got a pretty easy road to hoe here against the Founders, but they do catch the Pittsburgh Paladins, one of the tougher teams on that schedule.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you mentioned it. They play the Founders next. I mean, they're 12-22 at this point. It's going to be an easy win for them. The Paladins probably play the roughest in their next 4. They're 20-12. They go to the Pilgrims, and that's going to be an easy win. Pilgrims just can't get anything going.
Pilgrims have a little bit of age working against them. They are trying to get younger through free agency and through draft, although it has been very, very hard on that team. They have a lot of veteran leaders on that squad, but it's going to be interesting to see how exactly they're going to pull together towards the end of the second half of the season as we start getting into All-Star break, of course. Ja Morant finally checks in after being off for a little while in the first quarter, and he's going to hit this shot for a green. He's averaging 20.2 points per game. Now that is quite a lot for Ja Morant. And he is, especially not being the focal point of the offense. And then here's a steal. It's tipped, and Ja Morant going to challenge here, and he makes the two anyway. It looked like he had another outlet there for a pass, but that's going to go in too. So 27-19. Kansas City is putting it to Seattle. Here's James Tashi one more time. Who knew that James Tashi had some moves? He makes this two look pretty easy.
Yeah, I don't like that shot, though. I'm going to let him take that shot 10 times out of 10, and I bet he doesn't make it all the time.
It was a crazy-looking shot for sure, but James is a man of many talents, as we saw at Memphis. Here's a nice shot towards the baseline. Going to be no good. Vince Carter here with the rebound. Out comes Carter. Back to Tashi. Finds his man there, and did he get the flip? No. Morant, fast break. Here we go. Josh Hart going towards the old man. Vince Carter, he gets the two. 29-21. This game has started to pick up a little bit in pace.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about the pace earlier, and it's picked up. Business has picked up, in fact. The Martians could have had at least 6 points, back if they would have just played transition defense like, I had suggested. But, what am I? I'm just a commentator.
We're just commentators. That's all we are. 29-21. Holiday on Reggie Jackson. Look, oh, the moves here. It looked like he had an open shot, but here's Hart. He's going to take the three from a contested shot by Vince Carter, and this is going to be a foul on Andre Drummond. He's going to foul Green. So Green is going to go to the line to extend that lead out. He misses the first. Looks like James Tashi and Vince Carter will check out. Vernon Carey is being substituted for Hassan Whiteside. So it looks like Kansas City with an 8-point lead. Imagine that. They have an 8-point lead, make it 9. They now are at their starting 5 by the looks of it here that's on the floor, except there's no Luka Doncic. So they basically have Ja Morant and Whiteside as their starters with no Luka. Up by 7 now after a nice 2-ball good.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned they have their starting 5 on the court, minus Luka, obviously. But honestly, their weakest, probably their biggest draft need is going to be power forward. JaMychal Green, he's a solid player. He can come off the bench, but he is just not starting material. If you put him on any 30 other 2 teams or 31 other teams, he probably wouldn't be starting on the majority of them.
Andre Drummond, don't need to block you out there, Brian, but Andre Drummond with the inside presence there. We also had a block on the other end as well. Up by 5 now. They need to protect that lead so Seattle does not have a chance at coming back. It's a nice pass down low to Green, and he is going to get it off the backboard, but look at Whiteside cleaning up the glass. The Kansas City bench loves that. You love to see that.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the Kansas City fans love that too. I mean, that's just what he's known for. He's known to just get the board once it's a missed shot and then just, put it up.
Hart here with the rebound back out to Holiday. He's going to try to challenge down low by the looks of it. It's going to be blocked anyway. Seattle is going the other way. Down by 7. You need a big bucket right here. What is the plan? What is the plan? You want to go for 3?
See, I'm never a person to try and force a shot. I probably run a motion here and try and get Eric Gordon wide open.
Drummond down low, and he's going to power move his way to the hoop, and he's going to get his own rebound. Andre Drummond, in the last 2 minutes of this quarter, has taken over.
Following the game plan, man. Playing down low, playing tough physical basketball.
Whiteside down on Andre Drummond here. Oh, good pass to Holiday with a little off-balance 3 is going to miss, and Drummond again with the rebound, something that he's quite known for. Reggie Jackson going to drive, and oh man, that's a good positioning there. Down low for his teammate using that block, using that little mini screen there, and it's going to pick up a foul. 32-27 game. Reggie Jackson will go to the line. He gets the green for 1 more. Going to push it down to 4. Now, out comes Luka for certain. I mean, they're starting to get a little bit of comeback, and you want to protect that lead.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure Kansas City was just playing around, and then, they realize they're not up by the 9 that they were when Luka went out.
Thornwell and Thon Maker, the only 2 players for Kansas City not of the starting 5. Luka makes an insane play off the backboard. That's why he's Luka. That's why he's Luka. 34-29 as a minute and 55 seconds. We're at the minute and 55-second mark, guys. So here we go with Reggie Jackson getting Boban to give him the screen. That's not going to be good enough. Luka with the steal, and he's going to go all the way. Nobody's catching Luka with that speed, and that's why you check him in. That's why you check him in when you got the lead, guys. 36-29. They've upped their lead again by 7 points. They can't seem to come back from that 7-point deficit.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just speaks to how big of a role Luka plays on this Kansas City team. I mean, they were letting Seattle go on a run, and then you check Luka in, and automatically you're up 4.
Reggie Jackson here with the miss. Luka setting up the offense one more time. We're reaching the minute mark, and if Kansas City can hit a big 3 potentially, maybe getting a slam dunk probably would help the momentum. We see, the block by Boban, but the 3 by Ja Morant in the corner is going to go miss.
Yeah, no, that's never Josh shot. I mean, even at Murray State, he was never really the guy that would sit on the corner and shoot. He's always the type of guy that you give the ball to and you let him drive in. You let him make those plays.
36-31 now. Luka setting up the offense here. Down by 5. The alley-oop to Ja Morant. That's an interesting play call because they have two big guys with Porzingis and Boban down low against Ja Morant for the alley-oop. That's kind of stretching it a little bit. Porzingis will get to the line once more. I think that you should be down there, Brian. I think that you should be down there telling Seattle exactly what they need to do. Because every time that they go down low, they're converting. They're picking up fouls. They are imposing their big man size down there. It's just interesting they keep wanting to shoot for threes with Reggie Jackson, Darren Collison with some perimeter shots. It's kind of a weird game plan for Seattle right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they have bigger size than the majority of teams that are in the XBA right now. I mean, you have two guys that can probably play the 5, and you're playing them at 4 and 5, and you also have Boban coming off of the bench for you. I mean, you should be unstoppable down low, no matter who you play.
Porzingis with this fadeaway, and that right there is going to send Seattle fans happy as this team's going to be heading into halftime. Unless Luka Doncic can hit a 3 at the half. Nope. It's going to be 38-35. Seattle has come all the way back. We had talked about the 7-point lead at one point, an 8-point lead. They never let it slip to go beyond that. But seemingly just in the last 50 seconds, here we are, 38-35. Look at the field goal percentages, guys, 51% to 45. That's got a lot to do with some of the perimeter shots that Seattle has missed. We can see Porzingis 4 of 4 for double digits in points already. So you want to
for sure.
Porzingis.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like if you were to look at the team rebounding, Kansas City has more rebounds than Seattle, and as I said earlier, Seattle's got to crash the boards. They would be in the lead if they were just able to force bad shots and get the rebounds. That's all that they have to do.
3-ball here for Josh Hart, going to move them up by 6, 41-35 as we start the third quarter. That's a good way to start it off if you're Kansas City, is basically making a statement, right? Well, look at this statement. Andre Drummond with the slam dunk alley-oop. Now it seems like we got a battle. We got a battle going on here to start the third quarter. Luka Doncic rolling inside. Gonna miss here. Porzingis out here with the rebound. And Reggie Jackson is trying to move up the offense to a faster tempo here. Here comes Eric Gordon down low, and that's not gonna happen. He's not going to take the shot, is he? Is he going to take the shot? Well, he moved himself all the way from inside to outside. Takes the 3-ball shot. No good. And Andre Drummond can't secure this.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's very rare that Andre Drummond can't secure the rebound, and that's really odd that happened. I mean, we were talking about Eric Gordon earlier, the Indiana product. Career-wise, he's pretty average when it comes to shooting percentages.
Look at Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, no, I mean, he all you got to do for Hassan is just throw it up. I mean, obviously you might not want to do that with Andre Drummond, but typically all you got to do is just throw it up and he'll finish it for you.
Eric Gordon hits this 3, 43-40. So again, the battle is continuing here. Seattle's not quitting. They're not giving up. They're starting to mix in a little bit of balance, I'm noticing. They're going down low. They're coming back on the outside. But the difference here so far in this second quarter is they're hitting those outside shots.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously three-pointers are very important to a team. I mean, just look at the Golden State Warriors. You can win a game off of three-pointers, but you don't want that to be your only attack.
Eric Gordon with the drive, going to get 2, and Seattle is now only down by 1. They have not had the lead in this entire game, so we want to see what Kansas City's going to do with this possession. Here's Green with the green. A good pass by Luka. That Seattle bench right there is already looking around like, how do we stop this guy? Can we stop this guy? 45-42. Gordon, pass out here to Jackson, challenging Ja Morant, and it looked like he had the chance to drive and go get in, but he kicks it back out. Porzingis for 3, gonna miss. Green with the rebound. Here comes Morant and the Stampede. Pass to Hart, and that looks like it's going to go in, and it will.
Yeah, no, that bucket's on Reggie Jackson right there. He had a wide open lane to drive, and he just turned it away. I mean, that wouldn't have forced a bad shot by Porzingis. I mean, they would have been, almost tied now.
John Morant here with the steal, and then the pass right back to Josh Hart, but Whiteside is going to challenge on the inside for Drummond, and Drummond will pick up the foul. So it's pretty bad. I don't know. Let's bring Brian in here. Is that a bad foul? Would you consider that a bad foul?
No, that's a good foul. No easy buckets, as I always say. You can't just let a man just go up on you. You got to foul him.
Whiteside lining up this free throw. He will miss. So I guess you're right. It's not a bad foul.
Rather than give him the 2, make him earn them.
Yeah. Well, me being of not superior basketball knowledge, I would have said that's a bad foul.
Yeah, no,
Portugal, what are you hearing on the sidelines right now with Seattle making a comeback? And you know what? Look at this. They missed the extra free throw. They missed 2 free throws. So, yeah, I was wrong. It wasn't a bad foul. Portugal, what have you been hearing from the bench?
Oh, well, Seattle is so hyped up right now. They're getting this comeback. They didn't look in it early, but now they're in it, and the game plan is being executed to perfection. Back to you, Goldie.
47-44. Here come the Stampede. They're going to get 2 right back. Now they are down by 5, 49-44. We are pretty much on pace for about a 70-point output for both teams. Porzingis down low, to Brian's credit one more time. We're going to keep referencing that. Porzingis seems to be making a living down there, Brian. He keeps going back. He's getting familiar, making a home of that charity stripe tonight.
Yeah, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, he's getting a lot of his points from down there. And honestly, he should just keep attacking down there. Get Kansas City in foul trouble.
As we wait for Porzingis' next free throw shots, are there some big-time names, some noteworthy names? You know this draft class inside and out, being our draft class creator. I'm sure that people are wondering who are going to be the guys that we want to be looking towards as the potential number 1, potential number 2s. Who's going to be the Sobchak or the Malik Jones of this draft class coming up?
Honestly, I mean, you still have Marcus Anthony from Virginia Tech. Orlando Champion decided to stay another year. You have Wyatt Price from Campbell staying. It's going to be a good class. It's going to be really interesting to see how they fit into these teams.
49-45, and we got a 2 that's going to go for Luka. James Tashi with the foul. And he's thinking, like, what did I do? What did I do that was so wrong? Because, I mean, Luka did it look like he got fouled?
To me, no. That's a clean defense for me. I mean, I guess the refs just saw something I didn't. But I mean, even then, it's Luka Doncic. I mean, you can't stop a player like that.
Yeah, a little bit of leeway might need to be given for James Tashi. Just basically the fact that he's a rookie. Maybe it's the XBA referees thinking that we got to give a little discount to Luka versus the discount to James Tashi.
Yeah, for sure. Get the rookie used to not having calls go his way.
52-45. So yet again a 7-point game here, and Andre Drummond for 3.
That usually doesn't happen there, Gold. I don't know what happened.
What was that? All right, well, Kansas City, they're going to have to get a 3 back because that was kind of cheese. That was a little cheesy, I'm not going to lie. Andre Drummond for 3. Here's a 3-ball attempt for Kansas City. We got a loose ball foul on Vernon Carey, but it's going to count anyway. So they do get the 3 back. 55-48, still another 7-point lead here. And Andre Drummond. How you doing, Andre?
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he was upset that, he got that call for the loose ball. It is what it is. Just keep playing, keep your head up. That's all you can do.
55-48. Porzingis passing out here to Collison. And here's James Tashi for 3. Is he going to drill this? No. We want to see some rookies actually come through in gameplay. We haven't actually seen a lot of rookies other than Malik Jones, Raheem Savage, and other than these top tier guys. We want to see some of the lower tier guys start to come through just a little bit. Maybe a learning curve possibly.
Yeah, for sure. As you can see, Tashi is kind of struggling tonight as far as offensively. He's just not able to hit any of his shots.
Out comes Kansas City one more time on that fast break style of offense. They want to get that up-tempo style going here. Luka looked like he might have been open, had the play just developed a little bit longer. And here comes Carey with the nice little spin move down low. 11-point game here, 59-48. Stevenson gonna pass here to Tashi, then down back low to Porzingis, and then the block by Gafford. Hart back to Doncic. Doncic working on Tashi. He's going down low with a no-look pass. Oh, what a pass by Luka Doncic. Behind the back in the Stampede on an 18-6 run. And you can see the graphic, 5 minutes and 28 seconds, guys. Crazy, crazy. That would basically be the entire third quarter. The entire third quarter. Seattle just cannot catch up. They're down by 13.
Like I said earlier, Luka is going to be the MVP this year. With plays like that, if he continues to make those, there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be unanimous MVP.
Darren Collison here with the three in the corner to try to get his troops back into it. It's a 10-point game right now, 61-51. Josh Hart going down low on Lance Stevenson and Porzingis. Good defense by Porzingis just to rush the shot. Stevenson coming out here trying to work on Josh Hart. Miss here for Seattle, and then back out. Good pass to Josh Hart, gets the lay-in. Back to 12-point lead. 17 points for Josh Hart.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Hart's probably one of the most underrated basketball players at the age of 26. I mean, he's so young and he's so agile. I personally don't play him at the 3 if he's on my team, but I mean, each his to own, I guess.
Holiday here with another 2, 65-51, a 14-point lead. This is the largest margin of the lead that we have seen in this entire game. And the alley-oop, not gonna happen, not gonna work. Collison he totally missed. He totally whiffed. Chris Stapps right there.
Yeah, no, I mean, usually you can just throw that up for Chris Stapps, and he's able to at least get the ball in his hand. But I don't know what Collison is doing there.
Start to think that maybe age is catching up with him a little bit on the depth perception. 65-51, 14-point game. Gafford, maybe could have taken the 3. You're up by such a large margin. You could easily make that happen. Now a 16-point game as Ja Morant going to get the green on this. 2-ball down low, 36 seconds to go. Seattle trying to just work inside. And you know what? Kansas City has done a great job so far in this third quarter, kind of figuring out that game plan for Seattle. They have locked down on inside as we see another miss here for Seattle.
Yeah, no, I mean, Seattle's struggling this entire third quarter. They, obviously they were only down 3 at halftime, but I mean, since then they just have not been able to get anything to hit.
Beautiful display of passing here. Unfortunately for Gafford, this ball is going to be, that almost went in, but it was good. It was really good passing to try to set up an open lane. And I think Kansas City, they know what they're doing on offense here against these Martians. It seems like they're just trying to take that away from them, that big man depth and that size. Reggie Jackson here is going to miss. And again, out comes Kansas City on a fast break. It's actually going to be off of Seattle, and Josh Hart's got a little clap right there. The little troll face, of course.
You got to play the mental game. You got to get in their head. I mean, he's obviously just playing games with them.
Inbound pass here to Ja Morant. He's got the speed to work off of Reggie Jackson. Pass out here to Green. I mean, that's unreal. That's unreal. I don't know how you stop that. 70-51 to start the fourth quarter. Portugal, back to you. What is going on down on the sidelines for both teams?
Well, with the KC bench, I tried to get in there, but Tyson Chandler just, he hugged around me and said, well, KC loves Australians. It seems like KC's having a lot of fun right now, but with Seattle, they're not having a lot of fun. You know, they're not even talking to me. They're in such disappointment that they're down by 20. Like, it's just amazing, Gold. Back to you.
72-51. Jackson on John Moran. He's got that takeover badge right now. Porzingis for 3. That is going to maybe change the momentum. That's a good way to start it. But when you get Josh Hart at 17 with Kristaps with double digits there, when basically Josh Hart is outperforming Kristaps, that's a problem. That's a problem because Josh Hart, as we know, is not – I mean, he's one of their better players, but he's not Luka and he's not Ja Morant.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we all expected Luka to go off this game. I mean, he's still having a good game, but I mean, he's not the top performer of this game. Right now, it's Josh Hart's show right now, and we're just all watching it happen.
74-53, up by 21 points. As Portugal had mentioned, it is still Kansas City destroying this Seattle Martian team. Look at Ja Morant here, and then the setup to Josh Hart. He's going to miss, but he did take some hard contact by Kristaps. So trying to go down low, trying to feed it down low, continuing with that game plan, just trying to extend that lead out. 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. Eric Gordon pass out here to Hezonja, Porzingis, Gordon, Hezonja. He's going to make the 2. Hezonja's actually not been too bad so far in this game.
Yeah, Hezonja's probably the perfect six-man for this Seattle team. I mean, honestly, he's making a case for himself for six-man of the year.
There's a deflection there, but thankfully, Thon Maker's going to come up with it. Green working on Hezonja. Fadeaway shot, going to land, going to go good. And the Martians will take a timeout now, again, being down by 21 points. This is a blowout. Is there a pathway for victory? Can Seattle find a way to come back in this game?
At this point, it's kind of over for me. I personally don't see a way that Seattle can come back into this game, unless you had a Steph Curry on your team or a Klay Thompson.
Yeah, they don't have very many really good, superior three-point shooters to try to catch up and come back quickly, especially on the other end when you have good shooters like Luka, Ja, Green, Josh Hart, Whiteside down low. I mean, the Seattle team is looking like it's well on their way to an 11th straight victory, and what a way to do it. It looks like they are well rested, and I think at this point, being a 23-point lead, I think we can lay off of the play-by-play here unless something amazing happens. What do you anticipate happening here as we move forward in this XBA year number 2? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen here for Kansas City? What are some needs? Are there any needs for this potential 25-6 basketball team as we start entering towards the All-Star break and the what was that, Luka? What was that, Luka? Backcourt violation. Are there any trades? Are there any moves, acquisitions, things that they might be thinking about acquiring here for a championship run?
I mean, if I'm the Stampede, I don't make any trades unless it's absolutely necessary. I don't trade away anybody unless their name is JaMychal Green, honestly. And you would have to get a better forward, power forward to replace him with. And honestly, I don't really know any teams that are shopping a power forward right now. If I'm them, I just sit at home. The formula is working right now for them. And I honestly think that they're on their way to an XBA championship.
Oh, you've said it before that Luka is your pick to win the MVP, and they are on their way to a championship. So already, color commentator here, Brian Street, putting his chips in on the Kansas City Stampede. Portugal, tell us what's going on there on the sideline. Are you still at the sideline, or are you up in the rafters now?
I might be up in the rafters. I might be up in the stands, actually, just getting some food. But, this game has been a blow, and I can't believe KC has destroyed the Martians like this. In my pre-game prediction, I said, KC's going to win pretty easily. I didn't expect this easily. Back to you, Goldie.
Well, we're not done with you yet. We're not done with you yet.
Oh.
We have one more question. What do you think?
Oh.
Do you think that the Kansas City Stampede need to acquire another piece in order to really cap this season off for a championship?
Well, that's hard, but, I think Brian's right with the Jermichael Green. He's had a great game tonight. I think he's got 12-ish points, but, he's been, I just think he's the weak link for this, and I think a lot of teams are going to target him, and I think that could end Kansas City's, playoff run. I think we can all expect them to be in the playoffs, but I think they have to go shopping for a power forward. They need to convince teams to shop one of their power forwards back. So, yeah, man.
Now, I know that you are a Seattle fan. You're a Seattle Martians fan, and this is part of one of the reasons why I had brought you on tonight. So you could actually see your Seattle Martians in action. What is your thought process on the Martians here as we see Kristaps getting to the line one more time, but this time a miss? And it seems like they have they have solid pieces, but it's just they don't have like a guy. Like Porzingis is good.
I have to agree with that. Last season, my heart was broken by Porzingis. He is the reason why Seattle did not make it through Kansas City. I mean, go back on the tape. He was the reason. And I just, I want to say lost my love, but it kind of showed me Porzingis was not the guy to lead this franchise. I think they need someone else to really lead it, or Porzingis has to step up. This is a Seattle team that I think is going to make the playoffs every year till Porzingis and Drummond grow too old. But I mean, this team does not look like a championship team, and it looks like the Detroit Pistons to me.
That's actually a good point as we see Andre Drummond here with the cut, and he actually gets this layup as Reggie Jackson and Andre Drummond, former Pistons, on the same team here. Yes, I would agree with that. Not just because of the name recognition here for former Pistons, but I would say that because they have a bunch of players that are in that B to B minus type of range, with Porzingis being their star. But is it enough? Like Blake Griffin is in real life the Detroit Pistons star, I guess you'd say. I guess you would say Derrick Rose. I almost said Chris Rose, but it's just an interesting conglomeration of players, and I agree with both of you. I think that Seattle needs to make a few moves. I think that because there aren't any big-time players that are going to be available, as we see now in the stands, everybody's leaving the game, which is, to their credits. I mean, it is a long drive, so you might as well start your car. Start your engines early.
Yeah, I took a seat from one of the fans, so this is a good view.
I think I see you, actually. I think I see
hey
you.
there.
No, I think that they need to – there's no stars that are going to be available at the trade deadline, so they are actually going to they need to look at some specialists. Wouldn't you agree, Brian?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I have in my notes here, Reggie Jackson is not a point guard that they need on this team. He had 4 points in the first half, and hasn't scored since then. They drafted James Tashy, maybe give him some extra time, but even he can't score. It seems like he can't score. Maybe either trade for a point guard or try and get a primary ball handler through trade or in the upcoming draft or something to help this team.
I would totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. You might as well start, and we'll see what the standings are at the end of this broadcast. At the end of this video, we'll see what the updated standings will be. But it might be just a wait and see, like a play it by ear type of situations for Seattle. I mean, it was a bad game tonight. But they are still a decent basketball team. So, anything can happen in the XBA. I mean, you can get on a hot streak and everything changes. And the topic of discussion and the first take articles and the first take videos with Stephen A. and all of them, like the tenor changes because you start to get on a little bit of a winning streak here. Of course, everybody is jumping on the bandwagon for Kansas City, being now 25-6 on an 11-game winning streak. Of course, that talk is all about making it to a championship and making a MVP caliber run for Luka. So it's easy to fall into it, and it's easy to fall in if you're a Seattle fan to start thinking that it's over, basically just watching this output here, 85 to 66. But if you can get on a hot streak, if you can acquire a player that's a three-ball specialist, like the Arrows did for Jamal Crawford last season, that was on the bubble, was on the trading block. If you can acquire a piece like that, as we see Luka trying to extend that lead out again, he's going to miss. But this game's over. I think that you guys are both right about both teams. I think Kansas City should stay put. And I also think that Seattle should probably just lick their wounds, try again next time, try to beat the teams that you can. This is a tough team to play in general. And maybe just try to go after a specialist. Get James Tashy some more playing time. Eventually, if it goes bad, then you start the rebuild process. You start giving Tashy some more time. Start taking the bumps in the road for his progression. But that is your final score, guys. Thanks for tuning in tonight for the XBA Primetime Special. Kansas City gets the win 85 to 66. And this is your box score. Porzingis, 17 points. Drummond with 13. 5 of 9 for Porzingis. So again, they didn't rely on Porzingis to take the majority of their shots. It was spread evenly and dispersed out pretty evenly. But you need to have a guy that you go through to try to really take on the brunt of the offense. Josh Hart led the way for Kansas City, and then we had Ja Morant and Luka doing their thing once again. We'll take a look at the standings here in just a moment. Thank you, Brian, for your color commentating. Thank you, Portugal, for your sideline reporting. We will see you guys in the next XBA Primetime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Goldie.
Thank you.
All right, so guys, with the W, the Kansas City Stampede moved their winning streak to 11 games. They are now 25-6. We'll take a deeper dive in that Western Conference, but for now, let's take a look at the Eastern Conference. This is the Pittsburgh Paladins. You guys saw the graphic up on the screen during the gameplay. They are currently 20-12. The Wisconsin Bandits, they're at 19-13, so they are in second place. There's your top teams. From the East, let's take a look at the Western Conference. The San Diego Cyclones, 19-13 in third place. The Seattle Martians still in the playoff mix. We talked about it at length. Towards the end of the video, towards the end of the gameplay there. They are 17-14 despite the loss. So they're still hanging in there. They just need to make a few moves, I would think. And I would totally agree with some of the things that Portugal and Brian Street were saying. They need to find themselves a scorer. They need some outside help. They need some three-ball help, I would assume, and try to help them get and really just maintain that momentum that they have in the Western Conference. You guys saw the Alaska Chill still struggling down there in the Western Conference. Now flipping it back over here to the East, we got Jacksonville at 17-14, Montreal 16-14, and the Philadelphia Bruisers 17-16. They're just ahead of the New York Neon at 3.5 games. And then the Atlanta Olympians right down there at 14-14, still playing 500 level basketball, being 4 games back from first place. So yet again, the Eastern Conference is tight. It's very, very, very close, guys. It's too close to call at this point. If you're any one of these teams in the Eastern Conference, you're probably looking to make a trade in the Western Conference. You're not looking to make a trade within your own conference because everybody's at each other's throats. So for the trade deadline, I would anticipate some Eastern Conference teams going after some Western Conference players that might be available. So guys, that is going to be it for tonight's episode. XBA Primetime is all done. It's all completed. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys liked that format. Again, it was something different. It's totally new for me. It's totally new area for me to commentate an entire game, especially in basketball. I could probably do it for football or baseball, but basketball is a totally new world for me. It's something I'm not very comfortable in or used to, but I hope you guys thought that was good enough to continue, and I'm sure that the more that we do it, the better that we're going to get. And I would assume that if you guys want to see more of it, we'll end up having new guests and new color commentators as well, whichever games that we happen to show. I want to get some fans involved. You heard that Portugal is a Seattle Martians fan. Brian Street, being our draft class creator, wanted to give you guys an update for the draft class and some players to watch out for. I thought that was cool to have both those guys in. Let me know in the comment section what you guys thought, and I will catch you guys later on in the week for more XBA action. And by the way, before we officially end the video, take a look in the live chat. There's a link for the new form for week number 5 of XBA action. Make sure you guys get your picks in for week 5, and you can also take a look at the standings for week 4 to see if you ended up winning a custom prospect. If you were in first, second, or third, you get prospects for year number 3. So guys, that's going to be it. Leave a like if you like this thing. I will see you in the next one. As always, peace.